Welcome back to the Out of the Rough podcast. My name is Nate with Out of the Rough, and joining me as always is my co-host Jake. Jake, how are we doing today?
We're doing good, Nate. Little break from PGA Tour action, getting back into it this week, and we were chatting a little bit before the podcast, and oh boy, is this a fall swing event, Nate.
Yeah, if you were to look up the definition of fall swing event, or what is it now, the FedEx Cup fall in the dictionary, you're going to get a field of this nature. You have like two horses for the course, and Ben Griffin and JJ Spawn, and then you're picking your poison after that. It gets pretty rough rather quick here on the PGA Tour. DP World Tour, though, we're heading to the playoffs. We're in Abu Dhabi for the first leg of two of their playoffs over there on the DP World Tour. Their playoffs gets a little watered down because you just get a random influx of a dozen PGA Tour guys, European based, that acquire their card because they placed well in majors throughout the year, and then they show up and compete for a DP World Tour title. It gets kind of weird over there, but that's it. Yeah, beyond that, the LPGA churns on with a few more events before the end of the season. The Corn Ferry Tour is wrapped up. Of course, Live is gone, not gone, wrapped up for the year a while ago. Hotel Planet Tour just finished up. So yeah, we're just down to the nitty gritty here of the PGA Tour Fall Series. We'll have 2 more weeks of the DP World Tour before that finishes up, and 3 or 4 of the LPGA. So golf's winding down for the year. We have a few more chances to get some winners along the way, and that's what we're here to do for you today. But before we do hop into things, Jake, where can people find you on social media?
Yep, you can find me at DJ Friedman on Twitter. Um, Outright Card is already posted there, so feel free to take a look at that. Also be sure to check out the Discord, completely free to join. Reach out to Nate or myself to get you the link. We've definitely had more people than I thought this fall swing reach out for the link, so that's a great thing. The community continues to grow, and golf's quieter times, so I can't wait to see what the community brings when we're back in the full swing in 2026. But in there, there's a lot of great content, a lot of great individuals in there. Nate has the community wager tracker, so everyone posts their outright card, and we challenge Nate to how many unique golfers and different people can get on all of these different players. He organizes it into a beautiful, concise list that we could track throughout the week. It's a lot of fun tracking, and of course, congratulating people who hit winners at the end of the week. So again, a great feature in there. Be sure to join, and I'll clean up the podcast with some more information.
All right, there we go. Yeah, of course, guys. We say this every single podcast. It is a free tool to have at your fingertips. 250 plus people in there, all walks of life, all walks and avenues of golf betting and sports betting in general, right? There's a lot of other content flowing through there throughout the seasons as well. NASCAR is finishing up there. We have some NASCAR content as well, with Devin and Cody. Beyond that, of course, I have my first round leaders exclusive to the Discord. You have your matchup plays there. Both were fruitful this year. Your matchups of my first round leaders were definitely beneficial and profitable throughout the season. So another free tool and free money to be had there. Beyond that, you can find myself Nate on Twitter at Nate OOTR. That's new if you haven't tuned into the last podcast. We have rebranded ourselves from We Know Fantasy, or Out of the Rough under We Know Fantasy, to Out of the Rough as a sole entity. We are our own thing now. I dissolved We Know Fantasy after many, many years of running that into Out of the Rough, and we're fully invested here now into golf, and Cody as well with NASCAR along the way. That kind of fits right with Out of the Rough. They kind of get the cars, and some of the
Yep.
tracks have a bit of grass there, so we'll keep Cody rolling the NASCAR stuff. Cody's been by my side throughout a We Know Fantasy since the start, so we'll keep him along. We'll drag him along with us. Beyond that, you can follow Out of the Rough on all forms of social media at various handles. Just check our links for that. Um, be sure to visit ootrough.com. That's our website now, a new URL, I think it's called. There you can find the same old stuff. It's just Out of the Rough. You can find our articles, Out of the Rough Golf Betting article series, each and every week of the PGA Tour, DP World Tour, LPGA, and the Corn Ferry Tour, Hotel Planet Tour, and Live Golf. A lot of content now. It's golf based. It's fully golf based. It's what we're going with moving forward. Andrew just winded down the Hotel Planet Tour for us. He was had us in position for 5 straight weeks on those feeder tours with some big numbers. Only one of them got it done in that 5 weeks, but he is as knowledgeable as they come. His process is spot on. He's putting us in the seat to get across the finish line. Just very few have done it, but we're right there and glad to have him on our team. And he's going to have a great 2026 moving forward. Strokes game putting grass type for free on there as well. The one and done. We have a fall series one going on. Back to the when we turn the calendar year, we go in with a full one as well. So a lot of great stuff on there. Be sure to check it out. And beyond that, I think that's it. I've been saying the same intro for 3 years of doing this podcast specifically. I did fantasy football podcast with a similar introduction forever. It's hard to change things up without some form of documentation from me, which I don't have. So I'm just free flowing it. As you could probably tell, I don't think anyone's like, wow, did he read that off anything? No, I did not.
I think it's the same for both of us. I think we found about 3,000 unique ways to do our intro, Nate.
Oh my
So
gosh,
it's
yeah,
more of a
nothing.
skill.
Yep, nothing has been the same. It is. I would love to see a compiled, maybe AI can put it together and see if we can't see what it actually says about our introduction of how many different ways we've said it over the years.
Yep.
All right, Jake, Worldwide Technology Championship down here in Mexico, the only event on the PGA Tour schedule in Mexico. No, I lied. There is the Mexico Open as well. So, anyways, let's move forward.
One of two.
One of two. There we go. But yeah, when it comes to the world of golf, if you're not a golf fan, if you are a golf fan, you know the name Tiger Woods, and he is the designer of this golf course. His first golf course he ever designed at El Cardinal at Diamante Cabo San Lucas. This is the third time this event's being played, first held in 2023. Of course, this used to be the Worldwide Technology Championship at Mayakoba at the El Camaleon, but because of that golf course's partnership with Live beginning in 2023, the PGA Tour has moved on from there and moved to the El Cardinal from there. So Mayakoba continues to host Live events to this day. But again, fall series, we're getting deep into it. This is the fifth of seven events. People are going to start scrambling, no pun intended, to continue to find ways in the top 100 to secure a card for the PGA Tour 2026 season. Of course, cards down from 125 a season ago to 100. So it's really the nitty gritty time. Some of these guys that are some big names too, some household names on the outside looking in some big weeks here in the last 3 weeks, including this week. They get themselves over the hump. This week's field, we talked about two of them, the JJ Spawn, world number 6, defending U.S. Open Championship, a member of the Ryder Cup, as well as Ben Griffin, fellow team member of the Ryder Cup. They will headline this week's field, and they're headlining by a mile. We talked about this before we hopped on this podcast, Jake. Either of these two can win this event by 5, 6, 7 strokes if they really came to play and had their A game with the rest of the field, because the rest of the field is highlighted by the likes of Max Gracerman, Wyndham Clark, Nick Taylor, and Michael Brennan. Those are the rest of the golfers in the top 50, though, WGR right there. And, of course, Michael Brennan's victory in the last time out in Utah propelled him there. Recent Korn Ferry Tour champion Johnny Kiefer will make his first appearance since winning his promotion via the Korn Ferry Tour placement. And he'll be joined by Emiliano Gonzalez, who is the highest Mexican in the OWGR, and again received his PGA Tour card via Korn Ferry Tour promotion as well. I think he finished fourth in that point standing along the season-long standing. Austin Eckroat comes the defending champion. He topped Justin Lauer and Carson Young by a stroke a season ago. Funny story, Jake, of course, being in fall series golf, I was on Carson Young at this time last year at this event, and I had surgery on Monday, and I was sitting in my hotel room on Sunday watching Carson Young golf, and I thought to myself, tomorrow's going to suck, right? But I think that the golf gods are going to align and allow Carson Young to win this event. And of course, he did not win that event, as I sat there already, worried and sad about the day to come, and Carson Young added to that. So he's not my card this week, but we move on. And then Eric Van Rooyen won this the inaugural Play at El Cardinal back in 2023, an emotional victory following the death of his one of his dear friends in a fantastic event. And that back nine was one of the best back nines I've ever witnessed as a golf fan. That was a masterclass to go on to win that golf event. I don't care if it was fall series or what, but that was fantastic golf to watch.
Yeah, I think it was 7 under through 9.
It
It was
was
just unbelievable.
Yeah, it was like Hideki's back nine of the 2024 Genesis.
Yeah,
That was those two back nines come to
couldn't
mind
miss.
of recent history. Like every single approach shot was just a foot from the hole. Like there was no beating him that day.
Yep.
All right, so our Cardinal plays at the par 72 at 7,452 yards. Again, it's going to be mentioned 1,000 times when it comes to the broadcast and everything else. Tiger Woods himself designed this golf course to try to imitate the golf courses he played growing up in Southern California. So take that into note as well. It sits on a stunning piece of property as a position atop a hill overlooking the deep blue Pacific Ocean. The course plays linear to the Pacific Ocean, which means the holes are either playing downhill towards the ocean or uphill away from it. They're not like coastline holes that run parallel with the ocean. They're back and forth. The land the course sits on is naturally uneven and undulating. So due to this, there aren't many flat lies, if any, when you hit these fairways. And beyond that, it's hard to predict where your ball is going to end up once it hits a fairway because the undulations, it may hit one, bounce right, bounce left, and then roll either direction. So a lot of natural undulations at this golf course. The course is wall-to-wall past Palm, which should be pretty obvious here. So play firm and fast. While being past Palm, this is one of the most grippy grasses that the World of Golf has to offer. So there won't be many rollouts or additional distance from shots, even on downhill lies, because of this. Again, when you're hitting it off the tee and it hits off, with the undulation, it may go in a direction. But if you hit the ground, the grass is going to grip onto that ball and keep it in place more often than not. Off the tee, excuse me. Yeah, it comes in the card at 7,452 yards, but because of the up and downhill hilly nature of this golf course, that distance on the scorecard is not, even close to what it plays. It's going to play much shorter than that because the scorecard takes into consideration the distance you have to walk up and down hills. There is a 228-foot difference in elevation from the highest point of the golf course to the lowest. The fairways are very wide, as Tiger kept the typical resort guest in mind as well. Remember, this is a resort golf course. So the fairways average about 60 feet in width. Although wide, the fairways do feature many in-play bunkers, including centerline ones that are in the landing zones for long bombers off the tee. It is also important for golfers to find the correct area of the fairways to allow them to go pin hunting. Again, Tiger Woods, one of the best golfers in the entire existence of mankind, if not the best. He's going to make it a little bit challenging, right? And then it's a championship setup, so the pins are going to be tucked. They're going to be hard to get to. So finding the right landing spot on the fairway is going to be crucial if you were to, again, attack those pins. Trouble can be found if golfers do miss the fairways. Although there is no rough this week, the fairways are flanked by desert arroyo. Some areas, mostly on the front nine, are mostly sand waste areas without much desert vegetation. Back nine, there are more thick cacti bushes and other desert vegetation. Excuse me, that could become very troublesome if they were to find. Along with the wide fairways, the greens are very large as well, average 8,300 square feet in size. Again, greens are past pollen, very undulating and contoured, which makes it very difficult to put on. Greenside, the greenside surroundings may be the strongest line of defense this golf course has to offer. Very difficult to get up and down from. Greenside bunkers are boldly edged and sit well below the putting surface as well. So yeah, and then approach shots, you can expect 22.2% to come from 125 to 150, 27.8 to come from 175 to 200, and 16.7 to come from 225 plus for those stat nerds listening. But beyond that, Jake, anything to add about this golf course, event, field, anything of that nature?
No, I think you covered it. It's your typical resort style. I put very little weight into off the tee and around the green just because of how wide the fairways are and because of how big the greens are. Get ready for a birdie fest. Buckle up.
Yeah, it's a resort golf course, birdie fest, plus distance off the tee is a key.
Yep,
And then those who have a strong approach shot and some good proximity numbers will have a success here, as we'll probably dive into here. All right,
exactly.
Jake, I know you mentioned you had four golfers on your card. I think I have five, so I'll kick things off here. And we talked about it. It's fall series golf, and that means we're kicking things off with a Kevin Yu at 28 to 1. What a world we live in. Former PGA Tour winner here, Kevin Yu, currently fourth on tour and off the tee. He's 11th in birdie or better, 39th in driving distance, 42nd on approach, 44th in proximate hole from 125 to 150, 51st from 175 plus, 90th in putting. Had no realization because typically, Jake, I use my strokes game data per grass type for bent grass and Bermuda golf courses. I don't really use it for Pass Palm because the sample size is so small on there. So I went with standard strokes game putting and referenced that POA as well for some decisions. But I had no you, Kevin. You was top 100 on the PGA Tour in strokes game putting this season because I never look at the putting stats.
Yeah, I was very heavily considering him, Nate, and I thought you'd be proud of me if I had done it, but I didn't because it looked like midway through the PGA Tour season, a flip switched in him where all of this incredible approach play, all this incredible iron play where he's gaining multiple strokes per round, then flipped to his putter, which was dismal, and now he's still green with his approach and very easily can win if he keeps up that form of good iron play, but it's kind of been a struggle between hovering around even on approach. We know that he could go nuclear on approach. I love the big number on him, especially with the putter clicking. We know that he has the capability to do it. He's already won on the PGA Tour. It's a fall swing event. I was very close. He was probably the first or second off my card.
Yeah, what a time would have been alive if we were to both hit a Kevin Yu winner on the podcast. Man, man. Um, he's played each of the last three events as well: 15th in Utah, 20th in the Bay Current, and 11th in Sanderson Farm. So he's there, top 20 in all three events, top 50 in two of them. Played here in 2023 where he missed the cut. But that was after his injury-riddled season, so we take that into consideration as well. But that's where I'm starting things, Jake. I know you just talked a lot about him, so we can just move on to your first play here.
Yeah, I'm going with Rico Hoey. I got him at 25 to 1. He's just one of
Ew.
those guys. It's gross, right? You don't love a 25 next to Rico Hoey. He's so close to winning, and he actually gained with the putter last week at the Utah Championship. Very small, but it was green, and that's a big step for Rico Hoey. He's very close to winning. His ball striking is nuclear. His off the tee is absolutely incredible. He brings plus distance and accuracy off the tee. So he's going to be in prime position. A lot of times I see him having a lot of opportunities. And if he could just stay around even with that putter, I could see him getting his first PGA Tour victory. Recent form, a runner-up last week at the Utah, or 2 weeks ago at the Utah Championship, a T4 at the Bay Current Classic, missed the cut at the Sanderson, and then the T9 at the Pro Course. So he has that good form. He finished T45 at this event last year. The win feels like it's coming, and I'm taking my shot at 25 to 1, which I might be kicking myself for on Friday evening.
Yeah, if golf was strictly a tee to green game, Rico Hoy would be a top five player in the world and maybe flirting with Scotty Scheffler as the best player in the world. But getting the ball in the hole once you find the green has been Rico Hoy's problem his entire career. But you're right. You got to put yourself into positions to make these putts, and he's doing that every single week, week in, week out. The approach is nuclear. The tee to green is nuclear. Getting the ball in regulation on the green is his MO. The putting is the problem. Gaining slightly, even at even. We've talked about this for years when it comes to Scotty Scheffler. Before Scotty Scheffler became the Scotty Scheffler he is today, we talked about if he could putt to even, he's going to run away with every single golf course, an event he goes to. And that could be the same with Rico Hoy. Not to the standard Scotty Scheffler, right? But once he starts putting even and gaining slightly, look out because he's going to start winning some golf events, and very well could be this one here with this Birdie Fest type of event.
Yeah, just need to catch a hot putter.
That's it. All right, rolling forward, we'll move on to my next play at 60 to 1. I'm going Matty Schmid here. We last saw him at the Bay Current where he finished 46, and I think that's darn near last in that field. But beyond that, 14th at Sanderson Farms as well. He's played this event each of the last two seasons at Al Cardinal, missed the cut in 2024 at 38th in 2023, so a little bit of course history here. Not much success, but either way, what I do like about him, he is currently first on tour and proximate the hole for 175 plus. So those long irons really hot for Matty Schmidt all season long. He's 22nd in both driving distance and birdie or better, so that plus distance and can pour him in a hurry if he needs to. He's a 30th on putting, so that rare combination of distance off the tee with a pretty good putter. Elite for 175 plus, 76 off the tee, 86 on approach. The problem for Matty Schmidt is it comes around the green, where he is currently 162nd, which is darn near dead last on the PGA Tour. But if there is some hope, in his last event on the PGA Tour, he gained around the green, although very slightly, 0.369 strokes around the green in that event. Not a massive number. But again, this is a golf course that some of the around the green, situations may be tricky. But again, you're talking about 8,300 square foot greens when you're the best long iron player on the PGA Tour right now from 175 plus. You're not going to find yourself in these situations too often. And again, these bunkers may be a little bit of a hindrance for some golfers here. Matty Schmidt included, as he's pretty poor out of the sand as well. But I love I love the distance, the putting, and the elite long iron play for Matty Schmidt this week. 60 to 1 I thought was worth a gamble, especially being the second guy off my card.
Yeah, Nate, you covered exactly what I was going to say. These greens are so big that you can almost throw around the green out, hopefully entirely, unless he just goes absolutely haywire with those irons. Got to worry about the bunkers, of course, but I think it's a big enough number on Matty Schmid. I like the shout on him.
There we go. All right, who's that next one for you, Jake?
Yeah, I stuck towards the top of the board here. I
Okay.
went with my own bomber putter guy here with Garrett Kigo at 28 to 1. Another guy, disgusting number, but it feels like the win is coming for him in the swing season very soon. And I was debating between him and Hoy, and I said, you know what? I'm putting them both on. I'm shortening the card here. These are two guys in probably the best form, or at least top five form coming into this field. He finished T4 at the Bay Current, a runner-up at the Sanderson, and then a T7 at the Procore. It's been a very, very weird year for him, right? He's hasn't played good golf, then all of a sudden he won at the Corales Punta Cana Championship, was back into some poor form, and now he's back into this incredible form during the swing season in some weaker field events where he's gaining across the board. He is very long off the tee. He can get very nuclear with the putter. And the irons look to be cooperating over the last couple starts, so I'm happy to take a shot at 28 to 1. Couple that up with a T6 at this event last year, and I'm just crossing my fingers and hoping one of these guys I think is going to get over the line soon gets it done this week.
Yeah, let's never forget the time that Garrett Higo threw up the hush sign to a non-existent crowd while like it was like a par save or something to tie Stephen Fisk down the stretch, at a Citizen Farm. That was, as a kid say, that was a cringe
Iconic.
moment. That was a cringe moment for sure. But no, I get it right. Everything's in line for Garrett Higo to have a great week. A decent enough number to flirt around with at 28, right? Is that where you're at with him?
Yep.
Yep, 28. So, I mean, there's still some meat in the bone there, especially going the four-man card this week. There's no doubt about that going 25 and 28. So, I can't doubt you there.
Yep.
All right, let's keep the German influence going on my card. And this is a big number for a guy that everyone has bet at least once in your life if you've been a long-standing golf bettor. That's Steven Yeager at 70 to 1. First click this week, super quick. When I did my model, had him sitting right there ready for it. And I was expected to play him at 40, 45, and I was still about it. 70 is a massive number for Steven Yeager, former winner of the PGA Tour as well. 24th on tour in sand save. He's 28th around the green, 35th in proximate hole from 125 to 150, 36 in birdie better, 37th in putting, 55th on approach, 60th in distance, 106th in scrambling. His problem, he's 155th at strokes game off the tee. He's been losing strokes off the tee all season long. It's the accuracy. 2 years ago, he was a short hitter on the PGA Tour. On the offseason, transformed himself into a plus distance off the tee, where he started flirting with some events from there. The accuracy is long gone. And this is a course, though, I think, like you said, you can kind of throw that the window. These are very wide fairways. What was it, 60 feet in width? Like massive fairways. He's, the big miss is going to take you out of it. I'm just going to hope he dials it down a little bit, can be a little free flowing and find some of those fairways being so wide, and then everything else comes with it, right? He's great around the green. He's got some great mid irons. He's birdie or better. He's there. The putter is really good. The approach numbers are rather good. Plus distance off the tee, everything lines up for Steven Yeager. And again, it's just a huge number for a guy of Steven Yeager's quality that we've seen for 2+ years now. And again, I'm assuming at that number, he's going to be one of the most tipped guys on the golf tipsters charts because it's Steven Yeager with a big number. That's just a blind bet at that point. But I'm right there for you. The model tells me it's Steven Yeager. I'm going Steven Yeager. The number just happened to be massive next to him.
Yeah, I was shocked to see the numbers that big. And look, if you look at like, in my opinion, the Black Desert Classic or Black Desert Championship is a very good comp course here where the fairways are wide, and if you miss the fairways, you're
It's the
kind of
Bank
just,
of Utah championship now.
oh, sorry. But
Don't want the
it's just,
sponsors mad at us.
good point. Sponsor us and I'll get it right.
Yeah, the Bank of Utah out here in Pennsylvania and New York. We're ready for you.
Yeah, hit us up. But it's one of those where like if you miss the fairway,
Yeah.
you're screwed. You're losing strokes because you have to take drops and you're in unplayable situations. He was a runner-up at that event last year, and he won on the PGA Tour last year. So a lot of things make sense. The comp courses look good on Jaeger. Um, I'm not exactly sure why I didn't get there, but not enough room on the card. I like the shout. I think he's going to be very heavily tipped, and I
Yeah.
think he has a very good chance this week.
Yeah, just name recognition with a big number next to him. That's the MO for the golf tipster to have you on the pie chart come Tuesday afternoon. But either
Yep.
here nor there, it was a big number next to Steven Yeager's name, and that's why I'm there.
Yep.
All right, Jake, let's keep it rolling.
Yep. So my next play here is going to be Matt Kuchar at 55 to
Oh,
1.
wow.
Yeah. Just an accurate, not long off the tee, right? He's going to smack every single fairway. He's going to hit his irons nicely and he's going to putt the ball nice. And I think that that's a good enough combo with not plus distance off the tee where he can get it done at this event. He's played this event so many times. He has so many good finishes. Obviously, El Cardinal is a new venue. He finished runner-up in 2023 and then finished T30 last year. He's had some good run of form. His last couple starts were T5 at the John Deere, obviously way long ago, but then T13 at the Procore and a T18 at the Sanderson Farm Championship. Um, can the 47-year-old get it done on the PGA Tour? I still think he's got it in him. He's an 8-time winner. If he's in contention and in a position to win, he knows what it takes to get it done, which is more than what 90% of this field can probably say for themselves. So I'm happy to take Kuchar at 55. I ran my model. He came up as 47 or 48 to 1. So I'm taking my shot here.
Yeah, and It seems like Kuchar's a bit of your guy. You've been on him quite a bit when people have been off of him at random events throughout the years of doing this together, Jake. So, again, one of your guys, when he kind of pops in a model, it grabs your attention a bit more than because you're trying to find reasons to play your guy. Like Kevin Yu
Yeah,
for me, I mean, he popped rather high, right? But you're just trying to find reasons to back them without just betting them. So that could be part of it as well. I'm not sure if that is, but again,
exactly.
he does the right things, and even for you wouldn't picture a Matt Kuchar to be like a birdie fest type of guy, but he is. He can get
Yeah.
birdies in a hurry and hang with these young long hitters off the tee. So again, can't doubt you for playing there. And again, what is your thoughts on say Matt Kuchar being the next Ryder Cup captain?
I mean, I would love that, but I really think that we need some consistency. We
You got to
need
run it back.
no, definitely not run it
Run it
back.
back.
No, no, no. Yeah, Keegan's done. That I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. No Keegan. We need a consistent captain over the next couple of years to get this team back
Yes,
on track.
you need the same guy for 3 or 4 events in a row.
Yeah.
Either way, let's keep moving. Let's not go back there. I've talked enough about that event as you see behind me to my
And
what
my
is that, to my
sweatshirt.
right, to my left. Yeah, I might have the same exact one. No, I don't have that one, but I have one similar.
Yes.
It's one of those. I know I'm going off track here, but I spent a lot of money on a sweatshirt in the shop when we were there, and I'm not one to spend money on clothing at all. Like this is off the TikTok shop, and everything I own, like I is usually just my farm logo for on a cheap $5 shirt or my work shirt. But I bought a really expensive sweatshirt at the Ryder Cup, and now I feel I'm in this weird position where I feel like I have to wear it because I spent this money on it, but I don't want to wear it because I want to get anything on it or ruin it. So
Yep.
that's how I am. Anyways, back to my betting card. Two left here. First one being Sam Ryder at 90 to 1. Has had some mild success at this venue over the past 2 seasons. 30th a season ago, 10th in 2023. So we have a top 10 on the books here for Sam Ryder. 51st in Utah, 20th at Bay Current, 29th at Procore. So a little bit of, at least he's making cuts, right? I know the Bay Current's a not cut event, but either way. Ninth on tour in putting. He's 24th in scrambling, 42nd in birdie or better, 44th in sand saves, 45th approximate hole for 175 plus, 93rd approximate hole for 125 to 150, and 101st in approach. Same thing as I just talked about with Steven Yeager. He struggles off the tee, but good news again. Ryder gained over a stroke per round off the tee in his last outing in Utah. As you've mentioned, a pretty good comp course of this venue. He also gained 0.233 strokes per round off the tee at the Sanderson Farm. So maybe he's that driver turned around. Everything else lines up pretty good here. 90 to 1 for Sam Ryder with a top 10 here of the last 2 seasons at this very golf course. So yeah, running it back here with Sam Ryder.
Yeah, when you think of fall series, Sam
He's one of
Ryder's name
them.
just screams, right? And one of my friends always sends a meme when Sam Ryder is like top 10 of the leaderboard. It's an if-then chart, and it's if Sam Ryder is on the leaderboard, then this event sucks. Um, it's just it cracks me up every time. But this is an event that Sam Ryder can compete in. I think the fall series is where this guy is going to find success in his career. So I like the shout there.
There we go. All right, Jake, who's that last name on your card?
Yep, I'm going back to the well here with William Mao. He had a really horrible outing at the Bank of Utah Championship, missed the
Yeah,
cut.
while being one of the most tipped guys. If not, he wasn't he the most tipped guy.
I think so. He was either one or two, but I'm happy. My favorite thing, Nate, we joke about it all the time, is to throw out his last round of golf, which is just abysmal. I'm hanging my hat on the form of a victory at the ISCO, a T7 at the 3M, a 38th at the Wyndham Championship, and then an 18th at the Bay Current, gaining pretty solidly across the board over that stretch of time. Very good off the tee, plus distance, rather accurate. The irons have gone a little bit cold on him, but and same with the putter, but I'm willing to take the chance that he could return to that winning form at the ISCO. I got him at 90 to 1. That number was way too big for me to pass up on him. If he had a decent week at the Utah Championship, that number would be slashed in half at least. So I went there.
Oh, 100%. I mean, he was the most tipped in Utah, like 40 or 50, somewhere in that range. So you're putting 90 next to him because of a miscut there. And same thing with like a Steven Yeager, right? You see a 90 to 1 next to William Mao, who won more recent than Steven Yeager and has been in much better form than Steven Yeager since that victory. You're going to take that number. So you got to go back and run it back if it's a guy you've been on recently.
Yep.
All right, my last play here. I'm not sure if I've ever bet this guy. Chris Ventura, 125 to 1. 17th on tour in distance. He's 23rd in approximate hole for 175 plus, 45th in putting. So he's got that combination of the trio I've been looking at: the distance, the long irons, plus a good putter. Birdie or better, 57th, 79th off the tee, 93rd approximate hole for 125 to 150, 105th on approach. Again, around the green's his issue, but he gained 0.252 in Utah in his last outing. Great sign there when it's your weakest point and you're gaining. That'll help you along the way. Place 11th in geez, 21st at Saracen Farms Championship, making his tournament debut this week. But a lot of good things out of a guy from 125 to 1 with the last two outings, 11 and 21. Again, talked about those stats right there. Again, never been on this guy before, but I like what I'm looking at.
Yeah, the numbers scream that, he could be in for a big week, and the odds are just very, very large on him. I considered him in Mao. I went the Mao route. But again, he's in some good form. The underlying numbers are saying that if he keeps it rolling, he has a good shot this week. And at triple digits to one, I cannot fault you at all for going there.
Yeah, especially in this field, right?
Yeah.
Yep, a triple digit in this field is something. But all right, I think that's it, right, Jake?
Yep.
All right, that's it for our betting cards for this week's Worldwide Technology Championship, the WWT Championship, as it's more fondly known. Just happy that there's some, we have such little golf left for this calendar year. I know we're in November. We've got three events left on the PGA Tour. From here, we'll look it up by the time of the beginning of this podcast instead of going through in the middle. But yeah, off the top of my head, you got the Hero in there. You got the RSM, and I think that's it, right? So yeah, that's winding down. DP World Tour ends next week. The LPGA's ending in 3 weeks. Like such little golf left. So we need to, even if it's fall golf, we have to take this, because we're gonna have a few week stretch between December, basically a month of December off from golf. So we need to really hold
Yeah.
on to this for now.
Yep.
All right. With that being said, we'll move over to the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship, the first of two legs of the DP World Tour playoffs. Again, with the title suggesting we are in the United Arab Emirates this week, Abu Dhabi. So we've played 40 events across 5 continents, 26 different countries for the DP World Tour season to get to this point. The top 70 golfers, the season long standings, have made themselves to this event. From here, the top 50 will move on to the DP World Tour Championship at the Drumarai Golf Estates next week. The Yas Links plays host for the 20th edition of the Abu Dhabi HSBC Championship. This is the second season that this event has been part of the DP World Tour schedule, or playoffs, excuse me. If you were following this event or this tour prior, it used to be like a spring, it would be like a February, March event on the schedule, but it's since been moved up here. This used to be occupied by the Genesis, the South Korean event at the Jack Nicklaus course down there. Either way, but again, top 70 golfers, the season long standings are here. And with that comes a star studded field. You have world number 2, Rory McIlroy, looking to defend his title as the DP World Tour champion from a season ago. He'll be joined by a slew of PGA Tour regulars. You have Robert McIntyre, Matt Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood, Michael Kim, Aaron Rai, Ludwig Oberg, and Shane Lowry. Additionally, the DP World Tour regulars continue their fight for promotion to the PGA Tour as the top 10 from the season long standings receive PGA Tour card for 2026. As it stands, the top 10 include Marco Penge, Christopher Raiton, Adrian Sedair, John Perry, Alex Noren, Laurie Cantor, Hongtong Lee, Daniel Brown, Kata Nakajima, and Jordan Smith, all of which will be playing this week. Currently, the first 5 out, looking to try to fight their way into a PGA Tour slot. You have Martin Kuvra, Joakim Lagerin, Elvis Smiley, Rasmus Nørgaard Peterson, and Daniel Hillier. The top 20, or additionally, the 20 golfers will be fighting for their chance to play next week, with the again slashing that 70 down to 50. The first 5 in the top 50 of Nacho Elvira, Connor Syme, Marshall Snyder, Jacob Skovalassen, and Brandon Thompson Robinson. The first 5 out were Todd Clements, Matthew Jordan, Dylan Ledoux, Francisco Laporta, and Aaron Rai. Live members Terrell Hatton and Patrick Reed will represent that tour this week. Paul Waring, of course, defending champion, having topped Terrell Hatton by 2 strokes to claim victory a season ago, and one of the most random what moments of the DP World Tour the last few seasons. Of course, he is not playing this week, did not qualify, and there are no former champions of this event at Yas Link since 2022 in this week's field. And again, if you are a hopeful of a PGA Tour card, Paul Waring showed it a season ago. You win this event, you're basically going to get yourself a PGA Tour card at this point. So Yas Links here in Abu Dhabi, UAE, is a masterful piece of golf architecture. This is one of those, like, I don't know how man can do something like this type of thing. It is a link-style golf course that sits in the heart of UAE, and prior to its completion, the simple idea of such a course was unfathomable. Now, Yas Links, which has hosted this event since 2022, offers an accurate resemblance to a true links golf course in the middle of the desert in the Middle East. Designed by Kyle Phillips, the mastermind behind courses such as Kingsbarn and Dundonald Golf Links, it opened in 2010, places the par 72 at 7,425 yards. The course will test every aspect of the elite golfer's game. All but one of the par threes featured this week have water in play. On top of that, the closing hole comes in at nearly 650 yards with water running all the way down the left side of the fairway. A true nerve wracking finishing hole for anyone looking to close out this event come Sunday. The fairways this week feature rolling hills and lead to seashore greens. The designers of the state of the art facility were able to expand the existing shoreline, the shoreline of the sea. They were able to expand this somehow, and then in turn use the dredge sand to build an quote unquote interesting variety of dune formations. Of course, weather can be a factor here as this golf course sits along the coastline. Winds were a factor in 2022 when winner of that event, Thomas Peters, was the only golfer at double digits under par, but last year, Paul Warren won at -24. Weather looks fine this week, though. But yeah, this is one of those things that the UAE has done that you're just like, what? How? I don't get it. But here we are, and we have a beautiful golf course in the middle of the desert with water everywhere and an expanded shoreline of an ocean. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it's here.
Yeah, and just one thing to add, I was just scrolling through the player list here. I've only got two guys I want to talk about here that I have full disclosure haven't bet on yet. But Rory McIlroy has nine top three finishes at this event with no win. That is crazy to me. Nine top three
Top
finishes like
threes.
every year. So if top five is of any interest or has any sort of juice, I will be interested in that.
I'm sure it'll be like -800 or something.
Yeah.
All right, you mentioned it. I know you want to talk about a few guys. I have four guys on my betting card to rattle off, so I guess we'll just try to do it as I'll lead off, and you can talk about the guys you want to talk about in between a few of my picks here, Jake.
Yep.
All right, so I'm starting my card here with Matt Fitzpatrick at 19 to 1. And per my stats based model, my overall favorite, yes, over Rory McIlroy, is Matt Fitzpatrick this week. What he's done on the DP World Tour and his qualifying events has been fantastic. He's currently first on tour in tee to green and around the green. He's also third in par fives, third in birdie or better, seventh on approach, eighth in putting, 18th in scrambling, 19th in average driving distance, 22nd in three putt avoidance, 20th in bogey avoidance, and 34th off the tee. Again, small sample size, but it is six events, and those six events included a 21st of the Alfred Dunhill Links, fifth of the BMW PGA, fifth at the Omega European Masters, sixth at the Betfred British Masters, fourth at the Open, and fourth at the Genesis Scottish Open. So these aren't like ho hum random, they pay him to show up at these DP World Tour events. These are the flagship PGA Tour events, including a major along the way in there to qualify for those six events and those stats I rattled off. Um, so yeah, let's see here. He so outside of blowing a five-shot lead on Sunday at the Ryder Cup to Bryson DeChambeau, I just had to throw that in there. There may be no hotter golfer in the world of golf than Matt Fitzpatrick if you're looking at everything in consideration. He's been fantastic. He's definitely stepped his game up over the latter part of the season where he's been kind of fell off there after winning his U.S. Open a few years back. But he's back in contention now. I think there is big things to come from on the PGA Tour next season, but right now I think claiming a victory at this event is a real thing. At 19 to 1 in this field, I think is fantastic value.
Yeah, since the middle of June, Matt Fitzpatrick was definitely one of the best golfers that we've seen on the PGA Tour and DP World Tour combined. He made 11 straight cuts, seven or eight top 10 finishes in there too. Played very well at the Ryder Cup as well. Got that monkey off his back. Even though he did blow it on Sunday, I will also dig that knife a little bit deeper. Um, he was one of those guys that there was a lot of question marks around, and he just balled out and yeah, 19 to 1, huge number on him. If I'm going to the top of the board, he is definitely very interesting to me.
Yeah, there's a bunch of interest around the top of the board, but you're talking Rory McIlroys and Terrell Hattons and the Ludwig Obergs and Shane Lowers. You're talking 10 or under for most of those guys I just rattled off. And again, it's really hard to build a card when you're starting with a 10 or under guy. So if I can grab a Matt Fitzpatrick close to 20, it gives me a lot of playing room.
Yeah, and you mentioned one of the guys I wanted to talk about, so I'll just go right into him here. It's Shane Lowry, and there's a 28 to 1 on him lingering, and I think that number is just way too big. He finished
Yeah.
T3 in the DP World Tour India Championship just last week. So in some solid form, looks to be rolling the rock really well. We know Shane Lowry. He brings solid off the tee, incredible irons. At this golf course, Yas Links, he has a T13, a T28, and a T12. So good course history, in some good form, looked very good during the Ryder Cup, of course, sunk the U.S. dreams and all of that. But I think 28 to 1 is a really big number on Lowry that I don't know if I could really pass up.
Yeah, that's a massive number in this field. I mean, again, I rattled off some of the numbers that you have on a few of these guys, and Shane Lowry playing some great golf, right? The DP World Tour, the Ryder Cup, all of that combined, and he is going to bring his A game. I mean, he's playing here on the tour he loves, and we're playing link style golf, although it is the middle of the desert. Maybe some extra sunscreens in store for Shane, but beyond that, no, this is where he thrives, and it's a big number.
Yeah.
All right. Let me minimize this real quick. No, don't do that. Poor podcasting on my end. Click the wrong thing. But I'm gonna go with Rasmus Højgaard here at 25 to 1. So I'm going with a guy, you know, smaller number than Shane Lowry. But if you were to look this up, I don't have the exact stats on me because I didn't take the time to look at this, but there are undoubtedly fewer golfers better than Desert Golf than the Højgaard twins. They are
Yep.
phenomenal. Both of them. Nikolai won the DP World Tour playoffs 2 years ago over the likes of Roy McIlroy's and the Shane Lowry's and all those big names back before he was in the PGA Tour. And he even took the early parts of the season where he spent a lot of time in the Middle East. Both Rasmus and Nikolai are fantastic desert golfers. So I'm going with the better of the two right now, playing in the better form. That's Rasmus. 25 to 1 is where I'm going with him. And again, I'm going 19-25 to start my card. But yeah, again, back to Desert Golf. Those guys are just fantastic there. Rasmus last played the Bay Current Classic on the PGA Tour, T14 there. He was also T3rd at the Sanderson Farms on the PGA Tour. Of course, part of the winning Ryder Cup team for Team Europe. We'll just stop saying stuff like that. On the DP World Tour, last played the BMW PGA Championship, where he missed the cup. Prior to that, he was second at the Omega European Masters, a flagship event, 13th at Betfred British Masters, flagship event, second at the Danish Golf Championship, and 16th at the Open Championship, of course, a major. Currently fourth on tour off the tee, sixth in both driving distance and par fives, ninth in birdie or better, 11th tee to green, 13th on approach, 31st in putting. The list goes on and on and on. If you want to look it up or you want to believe me, Rasmus Højgaard is phenomenal at desert golf. I don't know what the correlation is, even his twin brother. Don't know what the
Yep.
correlation is, but they are both fantastic and when it comes to desert and had great form along the way. So 25 to 1 for Rasmus.
Yeah, Nate, we could keep talking about him at the Ryder Cup because he's the only one who laid an absolute egg
Yeah,
for
we
that Team
can.
Europe team. But anyway, we've talked about if you've listened to the podcast before, when these Højgaard twins are in contention with these top dogs, they do not step down. They can take down any golf tournament when they're playing their best golf. So I think the 25 to 1 is a big number, and I really like the shout there.
Yeah, it was last year that Rasmus chased down Roy McIlroy when Roy McIlroy was on home soil at the Irish Open to beat him on the 18th green. Like, who can say they did that? I mean, these are elite golfers, and when they're back in Europe and playing desert golf, made up of Europe on the DP World Tour, excuse me, they're not afraid of anyone, right?
Yep.
Nikolai took them all down at the DP. We call Rasmus take them down at the Irish. Like, they've been there, done that, so they're not afraid of the moment.
Yep.
All right, Jake, who's the next guy you want to talk about here?
Yeah, so the last guy I'll talk about here, and then you could rattle off your last couple plays. It's Tom McKibben at 25 to 1. I
Yeah.
think that number is pretty big for a guy who's playing his best golf of his career. He's a 22-year-old who has now, with a win last week at the Hong Kong Open, has secured his ticket to the 2026 Masters and 2026 Open Championship. Coming in some great form. He was on live, made the transition to the DP World Tour where he rattled off five top 20 finishes where he just improved every single start, which led up, or sorry, four DP World Tour starts in a row, which then led into a win at the Hong Kong Open. I think 25 to 1 is a fair enough number on McKibben, who is going to be motivated to get a DP World Tour win and is just playing some awesome golf and has been playing more recently than some of these other top guys.
Yeah, that's also something to consideration. Like a lot of these top guys haven't played, like if it's since the Ryder Cup or since maybe an event or two after that. But beyond that, a lot of them have been idle for a while. We mentioned Shane Lowry played recently on the DP World Tour. I think Rory played in that same event. But either way, Tom McKibben won the Hong Kong Open. You may be like, what the heck is that? It is on the Asian Tour, but it was like a full field live event essentially. There were so many live guys there on top of being one of the flagship events for the Asian Tour. You had some big names playing golf there, and he won that event very handily without much contention along the way. But Tom McKibben was one of the wonder childs of the DP World Tour for a while there. He won the Irish Open, I believe it was, for his signature victory on the DP World Tour in 2022 or 2023. It's been a while, but super young, playing some elite golf. It's kind of like him, David Puig, those type of guys who are the young acquisitions by the DP World Tour to scoop up as they're, kind of up and coming guys. But Tom McKibben's an elite talent, the North Ireland type of guy. So we're talking links golf, through and through there as well.
Yep.
All right, two plays to give you real quick, and then we'll get you out of your hair here. Christopher Raitan at 45 to 1. DP World Tour regulars. This may be the best. I want to say the best option they have because Marco Penge is in this field, but he has been playing fantastic golf here. 30th of the Open Day Espana. Prior to that, back-to-back top fives at both the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship and the Open Day France. 24th at BMW PGA. Currently 7th on tour and off the tee. 13th driving distance, 14th birdie or better. 25th bogey avoidance. 33rd putting. 37th tee to green and 41st three-putt avoidance. 40th in scrambling. 6th on approach. A lot of stats we know we're getting out of Raitan at this point. He's been tipped, he's been suggested, he's been talked about this entire season. He's going to be on the PGA Tour next season. He's second to just Marco Penge on the points list. Um, great season. He has a victory, does he not?
Yep. He won at the Sudal Open.
That's right. Won a while back. So yeah, I mean, I just love everything about his game. Checks out well. Some great recent form, and of the DP World Tour records, maybe the most informed guy we have to try to battle one of these PGA Tour guys.
Yeah, Nate, not much to add there. I think Ryoton is, like you said, incredible DP World Tour season. His around the green is where the cause for concern is, but hopefully link style he could just putt his way through it or something else.
Yeah, the old lag putting there will get you going. That's why three putt avoidance was in my model this week. All right, let's round things off with Ho-Tung Lee at 100 to 1, a big number for a guy who can kind of pop up out of nowhere when it comes to these big events. He won in the Middle East early this season at Qatar Masters, so there's that to consider. He was also fourth at the Open and eighth at the Bet for British Masters, and probably two of the best fields the DP World Tour has to offer. I mean, the Open's a major, but it's like DP World Tour's major technically. Right beyond that, he placed 21st at Genesis. He's currently fifth on tour and approach, sixth in birdie or better, ninth in bogey avoidance, 17th driving distance, 18th tee to green, 21st off the tee, 44th in par fives. We know what you're getting. He mashes the ball. He can get birdies in a hurry. He's elite approach player. It's just the putter and around the green play that short game. It's a short game that really can get him down. He's going to leave some putts on the table, that's for sure, but you can hope the approach play can carry him through. But 100 to 1 for Ho-Tung Lee, who won in the Middle East earlier this season. Couldn't leave that number out there.
Yeah, in a limited field event, that's a huge number. So I like the shot there.
There's that as well. All right, guys, that's it for this week's Out of the Rough podcast. We'll continue on here. Try to get you guys through this fall series. Maybe we can pop up with a few more special podcasts, just doing some various things along the way. I forgot about the Butterfield Bermuda Championship, Jake. How could I forget about that one? That's next week. The RSM is the week after, so we have 3 straight weeks of golf here, and then we'll finish with the Hero Championship, which isn't a points event, so that's why I was skipping that, right?
Yep.
Yep. So Butterfield Bermuda and the RSM to finish out the season here. DP World Tour, of course, next week we'll finish things off at the Jamai Golf Course for that top 50 for the championship there. And we'll continue on. If you're interested in LPGA content, I'll have my full preview and betting card live on the website probably by the time you're listening to this. So be sure to check that out as well. A lot of great content on the website, ootrough.com. If you're listening to this and you own outoftherough.com, hit me up. I will purchase it off you. But ootrough.com for our new website, our new URL. Everything you need to know about golf betting, exclusive stuff on there as well with the one and done and the strokes game putting per grass type. I guess, Jake, where people on you on social media?
Yep, you can find me at DJ Friedman on Twitter. Outright card is posted there already for the PGA Tour, and I've decided that I will be posting a DP World Tour card because I was just so inspired. Again, join our Discord, completely free to join. Reach out to Nate or myself, and we'll get you the link to join that. Great community with a lot of knowledgeable people. If you're looking to expand your knowledge in golf or just be in a group of people who love to talk about golf and the community around it, be sure to hit us up and we'll get you in there.
For sure, of course, all that exclusive content along the way. I don't. I always say I probably won't have first round leaders for the week, but I end up having them anyway. So might as well just join before I advertise them on Wednesday when I actually reluctantly do them. Uh, but yeah, I mean, if they weren't so good to me for the season, it'd be easier to tell myself no. But they've been
Yep.
fantastic for me this season, so I kind of say yes along the way. But yeah, follow myself Nate on Twitter at NateOOTR. New handle there. The at WKF Nate is no longer, so NateOOTR may look different. I not only in the same kind of month changed my handle and changed my profile photo. So people will probably just really confused because I have the same handle and profile photo for the last 5 years of owning that account. So yeah, a lot of changes here, but for the better, right? We're fully invested now in golf exclusive content moving forward. So a lot of great things happening here. As you can see, I've upgraded my visual aspect if you're on the YouTube. Geez, I said the YouTube like I'm 95
You
years
aged
old.
yourself.
Oh my gosh. If you're on YouTube, you can see I'm not just sitting in my truck in my driveway now. I have a bit of a space with some posters and things like that. So you can actually see me opposed to being pitch black in my truck. I do need a haircut, that is for sure. But yeah, a lot of great things coming, and it's only going to get better, bigger and better from here, from out of the rough. So uh, join along for the ride, I guess is what I'm trying to say here, because it's only going to go from here. But I appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, we'll see you.